Urgent. If you don't feel this on December 16th, you're in serious danger. Listen closely. What I'm about to explain is not meant to scare you, exaggerate anything, or create unnecessary drama. This message exists for one reason only: to make sure you don't miss something critically important that is unfolding right now. Something subtle, something most people will overlook, and something that will quietly determine the trajectory of your entire next year. December 16th is not just another date on the calendar. It is not simply the day after December 15th. It is a verification point, a moment where everything you've been processing, releasing, and shifting internally either stabilizes into a new reality or collapses back into old patterns. Think of it as a checkpoint, a moment when the universe, your nervous system, and your deeper consciousness all align to ask one question: did you actually change? Or were you just thinking about change? And here is the uncomfortable truth you need to understand clearly. If you wake up on December 16th and you do not feel a specific internal shift, one you cannot fake, rationalize, or think your way into, you are in danger. Not physical danger, not immediate catastrophe, but a much quieter and more serious kind of danger. The danger of locking yourself into another year operating from the same frequency that's already exhausted you. If you're hearing this now, it's because you're being given advance notice. You're being shown what to check for internally, so you can respond in time if something is off. Because once December 16th arrives, whatever state you're embodying begins hardening into your lived reality. So let's be precise. What exactly should you feel on December 16th? There are 7 internal markers. These are not abstract ideas. They are physiological, emotional, and energetic signals that indicate whether integration actually occurred. 1. A deep sense of settledness. The first thing you should notice when you wake up is not excitement, motivation, or adrenaline. It's something much quieter: stability, a grounded feeling that your system has landed somewhere solid, as if after months or years of internal turbulence, something has finally stopped wobbling. This settledness feels like relief without drama, like you're no longer bracing for impact, like your nervous system has stopped scanning for danger. If instead you wake up feeling scattered, mentally fragmented, pulled in multiple directions, or unable to locate yourself internally, that's a warning sign. It suggests the shift didn't fully integrate. 2. Inner clarity without mental effort. The second marker is clarity, but not the kind that comes from thinking harder. This clarity feels like knowing without analysis. You may not have all the answers, but you know which direction is right. You know what no longer fits. You know what requires your attention next. It's quiet. It doesn't argue. It doesn't need justification. If you wake up confused, overthinking, crowdsourcing decisions, or constantly questioning yourself, that indicates a disconnect from inner guidance that should have stabilized. 3. Available life force. This does not mean boundless energy or excitement. It means access. Your body feels cooperative instead of resistant. Energy moves instead of stagnating. You feel capable of engaging with life rather than dragging yourself through it. If you wake up feeling deeply depleted, heavy, or exhausted despite rest, it often means unresolved emotional or energetic density is still present. 4. A new emotional baseline of peace. Not constant happiness, not forced positivity. Peace. A sense that underneath daily fluctuations something is holding you, that you are not alone, not behind, and not fundamentally unsafe. If anxiety, dread, or emotional volatility dominates your internal state, it suggests your system is still operating from survival mode rather than alignment. 5. Detachment without disengagement. You still care, you still desire growth and movement, but you are no longer gripping outcomes as if your worth depends on them. This detachment feels like exhaling after holding tension for a long time. You trust timing. You trust process. You trust that forcing is no longer required. If you wake up feeling desperate, controlling, or terrified of things not working out, that indicates scarcity consciousness is still active. 6. Quiet, unshakable confidence, not bravado, not ego. This confidence is internal. It doesn't need approval or reassurance. You trust yourself to respond to life, rather than needing certainty before acting. You're no longer paralyzed by fear of mistakes. If self-doubt dominates, if you constantly seek validation, or if decisions feel overwhelming, it suggests your authority is still outsourced. 7. A sense of directional purpose. This does not mean a full life plan appears overnight. It means you feel oriented, like your internal compass is working again. You sense meaning, momentum, and alignment with something larger than immediate survival. If life feels hollow, aimless, or mechanical, that's a sign disconnection remains. If you don't feel all 7, this is important. Missing some of these does not mean you failed or that everything is lost, but it does mean immediate correction is required. December 16th initiates an anchoring phase. Think of wet concrete being poured. While it's still malleable, adjustments are possible. Once it begins to set, reshaping requires far more effort. Whatever frequency you're embodying when you wake up that day becomes the template your system defaults to for the coming year. Emergency course correction. If you realize something is missing, here's what to do. First, be ruthlessly honest. Identify what you avoided, the conversation you postponed, the truth you didn't face, the boundary you refused to set. No shame, just clarity. Second, take the avoided action immediately. Do not wait to feel ready. Readiness comes after action. Third, clear stored density. Use whatever practices genuinely move energy for you. Breathwork, movement, meditation, sound, journaling. Stay with it until something shifts. Fourth, re-enter stillness, not distraction, not analysis. Stillness. Remain there until guidance reconnects. Fifth, make a non-negotiable commitment to yourself. Then prove it through behavior. What happens when you pass the checkpoint? When alignment locks in, life begins moving differently. Resistance drops. Relationships recalibrate naturally. Opportunities appear without force. Energy returns. Intuition sharpens. Manifestation accelerates. Not through technique, but through coherence. Most importantly, you feel free. Free from internal conflict. Free from fear-based decision-making. Free to act from truth rather than survival. Final instruction. On the morning of December 16th, before your phone, before external input, take 15 minutes. Scan yourself honestly. Do you feel settledness, clarity, vitality, peace, detachment, confidence, purpose? If yes, protect that state and continue aligning your choices with it. If no, act immediately. This is not spiritual entertainment. This is calibration. December 16th will reveal whether you integrated or postponed, whether you embodied change or only considered it. You've been informed. You've been prepared. What you do next determines everything that follows.